Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with this.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. We're still sick, but you know what? It's time to pull out all the stops. Food is not working, soup is not working, meds are not working, vitamins are not working. I haven't slept in like 3 days. So you know what? In order to kill sickness, we are going to go last ditch effort and try alcohol. We're gonna drink a stout. I am very excited to review this beer. I reviewed last year's beer and loved it. And this is the 2017 blend of Wizard Blend from Modern Times. This is a 10.3% alcohol by volume. It's an imperial stout. I don't know what they consider this. But this year's blend is Monsters Park aged in bourbon barrels, Modem Tones, which is a new stout that they're doing next year that was aged in bourbon barrels, Devil's Teeth, which is their hybrid stout old ale that was aged in Jamaican rum barrels, Monsters Park aged in Spanish brandy barrels, Infinity Gauntlet, which I think is another stout that they're doing next year, aged in bourbon barrels, and then they took last year's Wizard Blend that was aged in bourbon barrels and they blended it all together. I don't know what the ratios of all that stuff was, but yeah, I've had enough of this cold, so we're going to kill it with fire. I actually just got back from Modern Times. I went down today and picked this up, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drink this. Time of recording today's December 23rd. I think last year we recorded the Wizard Blend video like right around the same time, almost to the same day maybe. So, see what this one's got. I sound horrible, but I can breathe through my nose and I can taste things, so I'm not like worried about that. This congestion is like when I lay down, it all goes into my head, so I can't breathe. So I think I'm more tired than anything. I haven't been able to sleep for 3 days, so I think that's part of why I'm not getting better. So we're gonna solo dome at 10% beer and maybe take a nap. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That beer poured it was like kind of cola color when we poured it, but it's pitch black in the glass. It's got a finger of an awesome like mocha brown khaki head. It's pretty fluffy, bubbly, but it looks like an imperial stout in that glassware. We're using our little Modern Times, I don't know, what do you call this? It's the stemless glass. I don't know what we call it, but it's amazing and it's proper, so. There we go. It's always fun to kind of like drink these blends of beer just because there's so much stuff going on. I'm interested to see what we smell and taste, so I can smell it from here. Let's shove our nose in it. So this smells, it smells like fudge. It's gonna sound stupid. It's like fudgy chocolate candy. There's lots and lots of dark fruit in there. It's like chocolate covered like raisins or like chocolate covered cherries. Wow, it's so fudgy and chocolatey. Fuck, that smells really, really good. There's a little bit, I don't know, I don't know if it's booze that I'm smelling. I mean, I haven't smelled a stout in a while, so maybe I'm just kind of like sensitive to that right now. It smells like a big beer. It's 10.3%. Obviously you're gonna smell that, but this honestly smells like if you were to take, it's like chocolatey fudgy like brownie batter, and if you were to like soak it in bourbon, that's what that smells like. There's tons and tons of dark fruit though. I love that. It's like figgy raisin plums. I'm not getting a whole lot of like woodiness or much of the barrel. There's a little bit of like I mean, it's sweet. It might be like vanilla that you're smelling, but this is so like chocolatey, fudgy, bourbony. It's the best way to describe it. So let's see if it kills our sickness. Cheers. I feel better already. That's fantastic. There's a lot of, I don't even know what I'm tasting. There's so much, like so many different flavors right there. Let's see if we can use our words to describe this. So up front, there's like this bitter roasted malts that kind of like right at the front of your tongue. And as it goes across, it's like this fudgy chocolate. As it gets to the middle of your tongue, you're hit with like that bourbon. It's it doesn't taste boozy, but you're tasting alcohol. That's like where the alcohol comes in. And then as it finishes, it's more like, think of like, what was the beer that we did? Like that powdered kind of chocolate. And even though I didn't smell much of the barrel on the nose, it's super woody, super oaky, not tannic, but it's like this, I mean, think of like having a toothpick in your mouth. You know, like when you have a dry toothpick and it's kind of tastes woody, that's what that tastes like. And as it sits on your tongue, it's just like crazy, like dark fruits. I don't know exactly what dark fruits, but it's cherries, figs, plums, raisins. Just think of like dark sweet fruits. With a shitload of chocolate and bourbon or whatever that is. There's rum barrel in there. I mean, I can't discern which one, like what spirit I'm tasting. It just tastes like a bourbon barrel aged beer. That's fantastic. That roast that's in the front of your tongue though, it almost tastes like a coffee beer, like right away. But it's not like that green kind of spicy peppery coffee. It's just like huge, rich roasted malt. Like it's crazy. Usually that like I usually taste that like mid palate to finish. That's like right up front, and then you get chocolate and then alcohol, which is gonna help me sleep, I'm sure. It's really fudgy. The only thing I will say, and I think I might have mentioned this last year, this beer, the mouthfeel is pretty thin. But yeah, there's all that dark fruit on the finish. There's like this sweet sort of vanilla. It's not like maple sweetness, but it's like this vanilla. I think that's from whatever barrels they used. It's super oaky, woody, almost like smoke, like charred oak. That's crazy. I mean, I could sit here all day long and try and pick more flavors out. I don't want to make this video like 30 minutes long, so this beer is amazing. It's fun to taste blended beers like this. There's so much you can like sit down and try and figure out. It'll be fun. Like, I mean, I live like an hour from Modern Times, so it sat in my truck for an hour when I drove back. I mean, this is probably in the 55, 60 degree range. As it warms up to like room temperature, once I go inside, the heater's on and we have a fire going, there'll be more flavors that come out, but as it sits right now, this is fantastic. It's like 97, 98, just like last year. It's amazing. If they could somehow make this really chewy, people would probably lose their mind over this. So yeah, if you guys want to trade for this was one per person per member, and then they had another sale, like year-end sale, and I think people could buy like 3 more bottles. I didn't buy extras, but you figure, I think there's 1,000 members this year. They're doing an extra 500 next year. By the way, there's still Modern Times memberships available if you guys want to become members. I don't understand how there's still memberships. Their barrel program, their sours and their stouts, they've had some issues with stouts being infected, which is kind of a bummer. But when their stouts are on, they're amazing. Nathan and I drank a bunch of them last year, and they were always like world class. And even like their hazy hops, like they brew so much beer. There's so many people who complain about like Monkish having such low limits it's impossible to trade for. If you're a member for Modern Times, you can buy like 22 4-packs of every beer that they release, which is insane. Like, I feel like Modern Times is kind of a victim of, they brew so much beer that no one really pays attention to it, which is a bummer because their beer's amazing. All their hops are amazing. Their New England style hops are amazing. The sours, their stouts, their barrel aged stouts, they're all fantastic. So there's like an extra 3,000 bottles of these kicking around. So if you want to trade for it, absolutely do it. It probably wouldn't take anything crazy to land, but this is one that's definitely worth checking out. That's so good. Yeah, 98. So that's a 2017 vintage of Wizard Blend from Modern Times. I'm going to continue drinking stouts. We'll see if we can get some sleep and kill this sickness. So I'm out here, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Cheers.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring back